What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Skyhook Ninja Fitness Homeschool. Coach Brandon here, and today we're going to be talking about how you can practice your rock climbing skills even though you don't have access to the Skyhook rock climbing facilities. Now, what we're actually going to be using today are trees. Trees are like awesome, natural, three-dimensional rock climbing walls. And we're going to be showing you a bunch of different ways you can think about using these trees, starting with some small ones and working up to bigger trees as we go. Now, before we start climbing the tree, we want to make sure this tree is safe for us to climb, and we also want to keep in mind a very important rule to picking which limb to grab onto. We want to make sure we're grabbing large, thick limbs and close to the base. The farther away from the base you grab, the shakier it is. And you want to avoid a thinner branch. If the branch is not as thick as your wrist, you want to avoid grabbing that branch. It should be about at least as thick as your wrist if you want it to support your body weight without pulling off. We want to keep these trees safe. We want to respect them, so we want to not damage the tree as much as we can while we're climbing it. So the first thing I want you to do is try to relate your climbing terminology to the tree itself, your different hold types. You'll have your basic jog hold. That's your nice full branch you can grab all the way around. Then you have a sloper hold, something that's smooth, a bit harder, like a thicker branch or the base of the tree, the trunk of the tree itself. You have something like a pocket, something you actually have to put your fingers into. You can even find crimps in certain spots. So not only can we utilize our handhold technique on the trees, we can utilize our foothold technique as well. Here on the base of the tree, there's nothing to put my feet on, so I'm going to have to press my feet against the base of the tree without access to any footholds. Or I could hold myself up with a toe hook or a heel hook. I could reach my foot around and hold myself up with the toe. On the other side, I can toe hook right here. Or I can heel hook. I can put that heel in place and dig that heel in and hold myself up this way. There's a lot of different ways you can hold yourself up on a tree. And so try to first look at the tree and relate your climbing wall terminology to that tree to think about how you can climb around this and make an obstacle, make a climbing route out of it. So now we talked about technique, let's actually observe and execute with that technique. So I'm looking at this tree and I see a lot of good juggy branches to grab on, but not a lot of footholds. So I'm gonna have to smear a lot to get around this tree. And this tree, being very small, is not something I can climb up high in, so I'm just gonna have to circumnavigate all the way around. Let's give it a go. Make sure we keep our hips up, flexing our body towards the tree, not sagging down with our back against the ground. Got to keep our core engaged. And don't feel like you have to grab every tree branch. If you want to skip through or around, you don't have to grab every branch. Make sure you move your feet as you rotate around the tree. And boom, that's a circumnavigation. And you can challenge yourself to see how many times you can get around a tree without touching the ground. Let's find something a little bigger. And we found a bigger tree. Now, one of the cool things about a tree is that you can look at it and see all kinds of different problems, different climbing routes in the tree. Now, one that I've seen right here, a really fun one, is going to involve a sloth hang. This is a very large, thick branch, so it's going to be a sloper hold. And then there's nothing that I can put my feet on underneath. I'm going to have to heel hook my legs over. And then finally at the end, I'm going to mantle up and on top. That's going to be the hard part. So let's give this one a whirl. Starting down, finding good. One of the things, come in close and look at this, is you can find certain spots in a tree, little gnarls and extra sticky bits, and these are going to be great things to get extra grip on these sloper sized trees. Look for these extra little gnarls and stumps that you can use. And as I get up to this tree, I'm going to have to use my heels now. hooking those heels over to hold my body up. Moving my hands up across the top. And as I get up here, I want to mantle in. So I'm going to hook that foot through and grab with my arms and pull with my legs and my arms at the same time. And woo! That's a fun little climbing route. But trees get even bigger than this. Let's go find one. All right, ninjas, now that we're at a big tree, I just want to forewarn you, this stuff is for advanced ninjas only. We don't want to be getting up into high trees if we have a hard time getting out in this height. If you can't take a jump from 7 feet high, you shouldn't be trying to climb yourself 7 feet high off the ground. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about how I might climb this tree. I have a beautiful pocket hold right here. I can use this pocket hold to start and then move up to the silvers right here. I'm gonna have to use my feet to help myself mantle onto that branch there. So let's go ahead and start in a schmear. I'm going to shift my hands up, then heel hook in to pull myself up and over onto this branch. Make sure I'm leaning my chest forward. And now I'm up in this tree. And now, keep in mind, we want to be safe, ninjas. We shouldn't be climbing really high if we're not comfortable taking that drop to the ground. So I'm actually not going to climb any higher in this tree because I want to stay safe. When we want to get down, we can use any of our dismount techniques. So make sure you're comfortable landing in a squat from as high as you're going to climb. All right, ninjas, I hope you guys have a fun time engaging with your local natural environments and climbing some trees and practicing your rock climbing techniques. That's all for Skyhook Ninja Fitness Homeschool today. I'm Coach Brandon. Let's put our hands in the middle. Skyhook Ninjas on 3. 1, 2, 3. Skyhook Ninjas! Oh, what's up, you guys? It's Coach Brandon over here down at Skyhook Ninja Fitness. No, start that over again. So before we start climbing a tree, we want to wait for this car to finish driving behind us. Now, before we start climbing the tree, we want to make sure but our foothold technique is to maintain that traction. We're going to start this one over again. Hands up this side, stick that heel in, and pull our body up, and whoop, and push. Oh, my foot was like right there. Like right at the top, my foot slipped out. Die.